In today's lesson, we're going to be looking at some tense skills, so quite a grammar-focused lesson, and we're going to be concentrating on the present simple and the present continuous tense. So we'll be reviewing the reasons for using it, making sure that you understand how they are both formed so that you're accurate within your speaking, and I'll give you some examples of both tenses used within the situation of introductions and greetings too. So these are both tenses that we use to discuss events happening now. But events can mean a few different things. It doesn't mean just actions completed right now. It can be about truths or habits, routines, but it can also be about actions happening now too. So if we look at this timeline here, past, present, future, we're of course going to be focusing on the present or near future too. So just around this sort of midsection of the timeline. Okay, let's take a look at the present simple in a bit more detail. So we use the present simple tense in a variety of situations, but it's super important to note the present simple isn't used for the common misconception of actions happening now. That's not what we use the present simple for. Here are the reasons that we use the present simple. When discussing habits, general truths, or unchanging situations. And here are some examples. I like eating pizza. That's a habit of mine. I speak 3 languages. It's a fact. It's a truth. And I need to exercise more. This is a situation. It's an unchanging situation, something that I need to do. It's also a truth. So these are a few different reasons for the present simple tense. Habits, truths, unchanging situations. Another example, unchanging situation. Bangkok is a huge city. London is a huge city. Both unchanging situations, as well as I need to exercise more. Here's another reason, routines. So when we discuss routines, it's important that we use the present simple. I always play games at night, play being the verb in the present tense, play. I start work at 8:30 a.m. Start being the verb. In both these examples, I am the subject. I always play. I start work. So when we talk about routines, we use the present simple as well. And another reason is for thoughts, opinions, feelings, emotions, and also the 5 senses. And here are some examples. I love my parents very much. Love being the verb. I am the subject, my parents are the object in this sentence. She learns Spanish at college. She is the subject, learns is the verb, and Spanish at college is the object. Spanish being the object there. And I've actually underlined this verb form here, learn, which becomes learns. So when the subject is in the third person, meaning he, she, it, or a person's name, the verb must have an S added to the end of it. Hugely important for our grammatical accuracy. Let's see an example. Katie swims for her local team. So there, the verb swim needs the S because I'm talking about the subject in the third person. Katie swims for her local team. So this is a really important little detail in forming the present simple, especially within the third person. Okay, let's take a look at the present continuous. So the present continuous is mostly used for 3 reasons. Actions happening right now. So when people talk about the present tense, this is what they consider to be the whole purpose of present tense. Actions happening right now, correct. Am I right? Actually, that's not true, as you just saw. Present simple tense is completely the opposite of actions happening right now. Habits, routines, feelings. The present continuous can be used for that common misconception, that idea that, well, the present tense is just for actions happening right now. The present continuous can be used for that, such as, the guests are arriving now. Subject, guests. To be, the verb are. Guests are arriving, ing, now. The computer is, verb to be, is loading. The computer is loading, ing, load, loading. So there we have those common examples of the present continuous tense, ing verbs, arriving, loading. And we need that verb before to be, whether it's are, is, depending on whether it's plural or singular. And here's another example. For a longer action that's in progress, this doesn't necessarily mean it's happening right now, but it's ongoing. It's something that is happening over a period of time as well as roundabout now during the present. Here's an example. I'm studying to learn English. That might mean that I'm not in an English book right now studying, but in general, I am studying English. She's practicing martial arts. So she's a student of martial arts and she spends time practicing martial arts. And here's our last reason, near future plans. We're going on holiday next week. We're going on holiday next week. So a near future plan. I'm seeing my friends tomorrow. So we have a few examples of near future plans there. Okay, let's jump into a live video where I'll give you a few more examples of the present simple and present continuous in use. We'll begin with the present simple tense, and in all honesty, it's pretty easy to form. Simply put, it's the subject, I, he, she, it, they, us, we, plus the infinitive, the verb, sleep, eat, play, read. If you want to make it into a negative, you will have to either add doesn't or don't. She doesn't read. We don't eat spicy food. So you need to also add doesn't or don't to turn this into a negative phrase. So basically, subject plus verb. Don't and doesn't if you want to make it a negative. In terms of eating and introductions, here's a few phrases that you can use that are actually in the present simple. It is nice to meet you. It is, contraction, it's nice to meet you. And it's just a general truth. It's so nice to meet you. Very formal and very polite. It's nice to meet you. If you were to try and end a conversation during an introduction or greeting at whatever event it may be, you could say, I hope to see you again. Again, this is a general truth. Hope to see you again. And it's very friendly, formal, but it's not too polite. Hope to see you again. And then you can close the conversation. The present continuous is just a little bit more difficult to form than present simple, but it's still not that tough in all honesty. We have subject plus verb to be, which would be is, am, are, one of those three, plus the verb ing. So it's subject plus is, am, are, plus verb ing. I am currently studying English. I'm studying English. They are there. They're studying English in school. So there we can see a couple of examples using is and are. So subject plus is, am, are plus verb ing. And there you have the present continuous tense. Present continuous in use with introductions and greetings. Here's a couple of examples for you. So there's a structure that I have here as a question. Where are you, verb ing, these days? Which means presently, right now. Where are you living these days? It's quite a polite structure and quite friendly too. Where are you living these days? Where are you studying these days? You could even change it up for where are you working these days? So a really useful structure in terms of being able to carry that conversation within introductions and greetings. Generally within introductions, especially if it is an event such as a party or meeting, you may be asked, are you having a good time? A question in the present continuous, to which you can respond, yes, I'm having a great time, thank you. Or you could change the adjective great, good, okay, I'm having an okay time, thank you. But the structure is still very friendly and polite. I'm having a great time, thank you. A really good way to answer that really common question. You having a good time? I'm having a great time, thank you. Okay, so that just brings us to the end of this lesson and review on tense for the present simple and present continuous. Very useful in a range of situations. And it's important to remember that the present simple is not just about actions happening right now. If you've got any questions, jump into the Q&A section.